I read something that seemed like clickbait to me. Um, Pretty much as soon as I saw it, but definitely when I looked into it. Um, and it reminds me of a couple weeks when I saw. I think it was on Threads. You know that weird. I think it's owned by. It's got to be owned by Instagram. I feel like every single time I go on Instagram, and by the way, don't make fun of me for going on Instagram. I'm telling you, some of the most success I've ever had and connections, good connections that could lead to some things have been on Instagram. So I believe in putting content on Instagram. But a lot of the time when I go on Instagram, I feel like one of their primary objectives, it almost seems like every time I'm on Instagram, they're trying to filter me off of the platform and make me go to Threads. And I think Threads is supposed to be like Meta's version of Twitter or something like that. Because everybody, when Elon bought it, there was that segment of people that were like, I don't want to be on this anymore, and it renamed to X. And I think Threads is supposed to be a competitor now, which is hilarious. Um, but I think I saw a post on, I think it was on Threads that was talking about Jake Paul, indefinitely suspended from boxing, and all these noobs, bro. All these noobs were in the comment section like, that's what he gets. That's what happens. Finally, this is what we've been waiting for this whole time. And then for every like 45 comments of people saying stuff like that, there was like one Puritan that actually got through and was like, that's the terminology they use when somebody's injured, right? And they need a suspension because they're not. I mean, you hear terms like indefinitely thrown around, and they're like, that means forever. They're never coming back. And they thought he got like banned or something. And that, long story short, that was absolutely not the case. He's just on some kind of suspension. It's not like he could be ranked what he was and fight the dude that he fought, and now they found some perfect excuse to get rid of him and they banned him forever, permanently, for the end, all the rest of time. It was just an indefinite suspension because of his jaw and health and stuff like that. And I saw an article right now, when, for those of you who are worried possibly about never seeing Jake Paul fight again, he will be back again, it looks like. And I saw an article all over the place right now. It was just flooding the top articles about Dana White talking about Conor McGregor fight next, out, not happening, dead in the water. Don't even talk about it. It's over. It's a wrap. He's saying Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. That's why you bringing up old stuff. Why are you bringing up old stuff? And I would be surprised, and it's easy to say now, obviously, but I would be so surprised if Dana did, if he had ended up making the Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fight. That would have been ridiculous, because that fight has become a meme. That fight has become, it is like far and away surpassed the meme that was Khabib Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson and that whole debacle. Like, it's not even close. It's become Michael Chandler's legacy. He's become a meme. And I feel like he's embraced it. I feel like it's become a self-fulfilling prophecy type of, like a self-fulfilling meme kind of a situation. And I feel like it's, the thing that people say, like someone kind of became a caricature of themselves, a caricature of. I kind of feel like that's what's happened with Michael Chandler and this fight. And then even Conor McGregor, like egging him on and provoking it and just poking at him about it. I don't even think Conor McGregor ever really wanted it, because as crazy and wild and just terrible as that dude may be, he's a I don't know how intelligent he is, but he's not dumb. He didn't get as far as he did, and I think he got a lot further than a lot of people realize. He's got like multiple businesses. Like, he's done a lot of the right things. He didn't make. So here's the thing: you could be like street smart. You could be smart. You could even be intelligent. It doesn't necessarily mean you're wise. I wouldn't by any means say that he's a wise individual. He's a wise guy, but I would be surprised if, like, nobody should be shocked by this. The whole thing became a joke. If that fight were actually booked, it would kind of be like, what? For real? For real? This is like us finally getting Ronda Rousey and Floyd Mayweather, like Joe Rogan was talking about. Okay, I guess they're doing it. Okay. It would be weird. Michael Chandler at this point in these careers, Michael Chandler is gonna need to fight somebody like Moicano, Dariush, I don't even know, man. Like Dan Hooker, maybe. It's not in the cards anymore. Conor McGregor is too big of a name. Conor McGregor, and then even I mean, if we're talking about Conor McGregor, and he probably would not be a lightweight fight. Conor McGregor would come back in at this moment and probably fight somebody like. Now I could see, you know what would be exciting, and you know what, I gotta be honest, I've been coming around a little bit. I've been coming around to Usman and Makhachev. I gotta tell you, because you know what comes up a lot. Makhachev and Chamoyev. We gotta see Makhachev and Chamoyev. That's the fight, man. That's the fight of the century. Khamzat and Islam. Is it ever gonna happen? Would they allow it to happen? Would Ramzan Kadyrov allow it? Would Ali Abdelaziz? Could this ever happen? Is this even possible? And am I wrong? I think most people, as far as I remember, I believe most people say that would go to Khamzat. If I remember correctly. Well, look at Usman and Khamzat. Look at how that fight went. And chances look pretty promising that if that fight went a couple more rounds, Khamzat was going to continue to fade. And by the way, I everything short of hating Usman, like I don't like Usman. And Chamoyev is one of my favorite he's one of my favorite fans. He's one of my favorite fighters. And this is how much of a truther I am. This is how much of an MMA truther I am. This is how objective I am. I'm not confident it would have gone in Chamoyev's favor if there was a couple more rounds for Usman. So when we keep like, he's old and he's got no knees, man, we have the worst memories. Look at how human he made Chamoyev look, and we forget, bro. But that aside, you know what I would be excited to see? You know what would be cool to watch? Usman and McGregor. That would be a cool fight. Because even though I'm coming around and even though I'm like, you know what? I think it would be competitive with Makhachev and Usman. At least more competitive than people think. I got to tell you, time and time again, and then a couple more times, I did not put respect on his name. I just didn't. I didn't. And then it came to that point where he called it out, and I said, you know what? I got to put some respect on his name. And I never doubted him again until he fought Leon, and I was like the only one that called it both times, and I looked pretty good in that moment, in both of those moments. But I think that would be, I could see Conor McGregor coming back and fighting Usman because, again, I keep saying this, I keep going in circles. I'm coming around and I could see Usman versus Makhachev now. I could see it. But I could see him not getting it because of optics, you know, for several reasons. There's several ways you could approach those optics. So I would say McGregor and Usman, and I kind of think it would be no contest. I think Usman would smoke him. But just where they're at in their careers and whatnot, those names at that level and, you know, champions, I think that would be exciting. I think that would be cool. I don't think Gilbert Burns and Conor McGregor would be a big enough fight. Unfortunately, I don't think Gilbert Burns quite. I mean, he was close, but I don't think he ever was really able to get to the top of that mountain. Kobe Covington and Conor McGregor. Now that is a fight. That is something that you could sell. I think it would be a little harder to sell Usman because Usman would just get a hold of him, just strap him up like a belt. Easy work. But Kobe Covington, that would be exciting. And he's so big now. Conor McGregor's so big. Oh, my. I just realized what the fight is. I just realized what the, oh my gosh, bro. I got chills right now, bro. Now, this is a fight that none of us could have ever, not a single person, and don't you dare lie, not a single person that watches this video has it ever even crossed their beanie. This is something that nobody could have ever imagined. Bro, nobody could have ever imagined this. Not even Mercy Me. Nobody, bro. Could you picture this at the White House? And think about, before you're like, come on. Think about the trajectories of both of these gentlemen. Think about what one of them is just about to face right now. And either way, I could see it making sense either way this goes, actually. At the White House. All things considered, right? Let it soak, let it marinate. Conor McGregor. I'm trying to savor this, bro. I'm trying to savor this. Conor McGregor and Israel Adesanya. Let it hit, bro. Now, this is absolutely something that a couple years ago, people would have laughed me out of the room, bro. It wouldn't have made sense whatsoever. It would have been ridiculous. I would have lost all my credentials. It wouldn't have had a shot to go anywhere, not even worth mentioning. But when we see how Alex Pereira had his number, that dude had his number. That dude been having his number. Now, we don't even need to talk about Jan Blachowicz. Now, Israel Adesanya was 20-0, 2-0-0. 2-0-0 as a tall, overgrown, lanky weight bully. He decided to go up with Jan Blachowicz, steamrolled, got exposed, said, all right, never mind, let me come back down a little bit, had a couple more victories. Alex Pereira said, hey, remember, I'm going to remind people as well how mortal you are. I did it a couple times already. Then he came and did it. Whatever happened to Alex Pereira, maybe he had diarrhea again, like when he fought Magomedov that first time, whatever it is. But then 3 in a row, Sean Strickland, Dricus Duduplessis, Nasruddin Imavov. And in the fashion, they happened, bro. Absolutely. And it was like best case scenario. It wouldn't have been better if it was a TKO by Strickland. The fact that Rocky Balboa, and I'm talking about Rocky Balboa Part 1, like the first one, the fact that Sean Strickland, and no disrespect to Rocky Balboa, the fact that Sean Strickland was able to do to Adesanya over 5 rounds. That's the worst thing that could happen to Adesanya with that particular dude. The fool that has more jabs than a CVS. And then what happened to Duduplessis after all that trash talk, bro? And then Imavov. I mean, the dude's respectable, okay? The dude's respectable. But considering everything that Israel Adesanya was, considering everything that dude was and the legacy that he had built up to that point. And Imamov lost to Sean Strickland too, bro. And I mean, Imamov was beating Roman Dolidze. He was beating Chao Barajo. He's beating Brandon Allen, Cannonier. Everybody beats Cannonier. He beating Joaquin Buck. I mean, this isn't the same resume as Adesanya. This is a dude that probably on paper shouldn't have beat Adesanya. I'm just trying to set the stage. I'm just trying to set the tone and let you know exactly where Adesanya's at in his career right now. A lot of people are saying that they're making him the sacrificial lamb right now for Pyfer and that he's on his way out, that this is going to be his swan song. Now, I could see him losing this fight and that being the perfect move. The perfect move for people to be like, all right, he's done now. As far as title contention, he's done. Let's do a fun fight now. Let's do the super fight now. I could see him winning. And because if he loses, there's going to be a camp of people that says, nah, he can't even beat, like, he's lost 4 in a row now. Strickland, Pyfer, Imamov. Okay, Du Plessis was respected enough by people, I guess. But they're going to be like, we need someone that could win against Conor at least. So there's going to be that group of people. So maybe if he wins, that'll be a better shot. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying, however it comes together, I don't think there's a better matchup right now. I don't think, again, back to my original point, a lot of people were worried and the headlines were misleading. Dana saying, no, Conor, it's not happening. Conor's not fighting. Blah, blah. No, he's not fighting Michael Chandler. But there's definitely fights for him to be had. And I think oh my gosh, bro. You guys need to tweet at Dana White. You guys need to tweet at the UFC. You guys need to tweet at Conor McGregor and put it in his head to call out Israel Adesanya. That is the fight to make, bro. That is the fight.